It is Wednesday, February 16th, 2 days after Valentine. There's a full moon out, and it's someone's birthday tomorrow. Welcome to the Inner Circle podcast. I am your host, Charlie, and this is the birthday girl tomorrow, Melody. What's going on?
Hello, how are you? Should I put this crown on? This
I
birthday
mean, why
crown?
not? Feel your
No,
birthday oats.
feel my oats. I'll wear it tomorrow, maybe, if it goes with my outfit. How are you?
I am great. I am great. Today we have a great show, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, I am great. Today feels good. It is a full moon out there, but I'm
Yeah.
excited. Usually people are scared of full moons, but I'm excited. I feel like today's gonna be an amazing show.
I feel like it's getting warmer because like the past couple of days have been insane with the freaking cold.
Well, last
Like,
week was very warm, then cold. Now it's gonna be back to warm. Tomorrow you're gonna have a good, almost 60-degree birthday day.
it was
Um,
supposed to rain.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, it's getting warmer. It's getting warmer. But today we have special guests. If you guys don't know, if you guys haven't been following, Sacred Steve coming on. But first, before we bring him on, you watched the Super Bowl. Well, no. Before we even get into the Super Bowl, let's go in chronological order of this great. I was gonna say great weekend we had. Starting
Cute.
with Friday.
Oh,
For the
yes.
people, yeah.
So Friday, I decided to be spontaneous. Well, after going out to eat for Valentine's Day, I decided to be spontaneous and book tickets to go see Marc Anthony. He's always in concert every year. This was his 25th anniversary at MSG.
Hmm.
And 2 years ago, we saw him. Excuse me.
Yeah, we
So how
saw him
was it?
2 years. I mean, this is the third time I've seen him in concert. I seen him. The first time was 2014 or 15 for Valentine's back then. Someone took me. Then I took
Who cares?
you. I know, irrelevant. Then I took you for before the shutdown, 2020. It was before shit hit the fan and shut down. That was our last concert in 2020 that we went to see, both of us. So we went for that. That was your first time, which I'm excited because you're a huge Marc Anthony fan.
I loved it.
And here we are 2 years later, and we went to 2020 in February around your birthday, and here we are again 2 years later.
Was
Yeah, it
it
was around your birthday.
2020?
It was
I think it
2020.
was
It was before.
2019.
Nah, it was before COVID because
Okay.
yeah, that was the last concert we went together. We went to a Broadway show in January. That was the last Broadway show we seen that year. And then
Chicago.
February, Marc Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it
well,
was good.
it was a great time. I kind of want to say that the first time going, like 2020 was better. Like the set list was better than this year because he did a lot of like slow songs and it kind of took away from the like good throwbacks that he's like sang. My favorite song, Te Amaré, he didn't sing, which I was very upset about. But nonetheless, we had a great
It
time
was a
and it
great
was a
time for us.
great spontaneous little thing to do. And the tickets were hella cheap. I wish Bad Bunnies were just as cheap, but of course they're not.
Yeah, it was hella good. You know what was the difference? I don't know if you noticed with me, or maybe even the people noticed. Social media world. I actually with this concert for some reason, although I've been to some concerts since COVID, but in a big venue place, I think this is the first one. I seen TLC and I seen En Vogue last year. When things started opening again for concert wise since COVID. But those were like in amphitheaters, smaller places.
Yeah.
This is the first time we see someone to the back in a big place like this with so many people.
Mhm.
And it was packed. People are definitely coming back, but what I do gotta say I did different this time. I don't know if you noticed. I was more in the moment. You notice I didn't put up so many videos
I
or
mean,
like the whole time recording. This time more I was like
yes,
more
you're
in the moment.
absolutely right. You were in the moment, and I really appreciated that. But how many times can you see Mark Anthony and like
Right? And continue
record
putting
him?
videos, and you're right about that too. I thought the same thing. I'm like, you know what? Let me be in the moment.
Same thing with
No,
Britney.
no, actually, no. I was gonna bring up Britney. I could record Britney. I could see her 50 times and record it 50 times. I
Hmm,
did every time I went to Vegas.
that's true. And
So
I was
I mean,
annoyed.
so now let's continue on to the Super Bowl. Another main eventful thing that went down this week. You could talk about the actual game because I did not watch the game. I tuned in exactly for the halftime and then tuned out exactly when it was done. So tell us about the Super Bowl. How did it go? How was it? And then we'll talk halftime.
The only thing I remember, because I saw like the first quarter, I'm not a Super Bowl person. I'm not a football person either, but people that I live with are. I we had like a little Super Bowl party and stuff, but I remember Odell Beckham Jr. scored the first touchdown, so I keep calling them St. Louis, even though they're from Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Rams were gonna win. So um I was going for them, but let's fast forward to halftime because that's all that matters.
Yeah.
The halftime show, it was good. I was like, oh my God, nostalgia. Oh, I remember all these songs. Yes, I was crip walking in my living room because I love Cali rap. But I'm gonna call it out like it is. A lot of those rappers were all lip syncing. When Britney Spears does it or when anyone else does it is a problem, but when they do it, no one can say anything. The only person that wasn't lip syncing was Snoop Dogg. Eminem was lip syncing, and he's a horrible lip syncer because you could see his like he was in a
I
delay.
noticed that. I
Kendrick
noticed.
Lamar at least was covering himself with the mic, so you couldn't really see it. Mary J. Blige, that move where she fell to the back, I didn't get that part. I know I'm being judgmental, but like I need to be
No, not
realistic.
at all.
Like,
I thought the same thing. I'm like, huh?
50 Cent, people fat shaming him. Like it's been years, like what, 20 years since he came out with
In
In
the
the
club.
Club. Why are people getting on him about being bigger? Like let
Listen,
him be.
people are not original. This is one thing I noticed
People have
on the
gotten
highlight road.
older.
No, but people are not original with the jokes because I seen one person put, which the first time I seen it, I'm like, ha ha ha, funny. Oh, 50 Cent went from a whole 50 cent to a whole dollar. Ha ha, cute. But then when you start seeing a bunch of people post the same thing as if they came up with the status, it's like, y'all corny, y'all followers. Like, stop with the corny ass joke because now it's corny. But I didn't even expect 50 Cent there, so I guess he was a surprise.
Yeah, he was a surprise guest. I felt like anywhere that Dr. Dre or anywhere that Eminem is at, 50 Cent comes out, and I actually like that 50 Cent was there, but I just thought that the fat jokes were mad corny. Like, shut the fuck up.
With 50, I was like, oh, okay. Overall, though, I wanted more. Like,
I did too.
the music, yeah, like certain songs that came out, like, hey, but I wanted more. Like, I felt like that whole stretch thing with those things was like trailer park, like,
That
things.
shit was
That's what
so
it
weird to me.
reminded
I
me
was like,
of.
a very
But
8 Mile.
production wise, like, I wanted more. I wanted more. I wanted more. I'm sorry. That's all I could say. I wanted more. I could.
If you compare, people talk shit about the Weeknd's performance. Like last year it was lackluster, but like the visuals of the
Mhm.
Weeknd's were 1,000 times better than this shit. Like it looked like it was like white Mack trucks, semi trucks, like or like God forgive me for saying this, but it looked like those houses that they built for like.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
I'm
about.
not even
Those,
gonna finish it.
yeah,
Let me
don't,
not
yeah.
say it.
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Listen, I felt like a little. I just wanted a little more. Um, and then some of their song choices, like I know "Lose Yourself" was a huge song for Eminem. And it was actually Oscar nominated, I think, because it was from 8 Mile
Yeah,
and he did good.
that was
But
a good song.
there was so many other
But
big
no
Eminem
drama
like
from
hits.
Mary J. Blige. Why would Mary J. Blige do no more drama instead of
I could
singing like
I could see why
just
she did
fine?
Family Affair she did, and No More Drama was a big song for her. But Mary's
She has a
choices, I
lot of
could
good
see, but
songs.
yeah, she does. She does. There was so much. I just wanted more. I wanted more from each of them, music wise, too.
I
Maybe
felt like it
different
was
song
like,
selections.
how long was it? Did you think?
13,
I thought it
13
went like 5
minutes.
minutes. Was it? It felt like 5.
What? Like all of them performing?
Yeah, like the whole
No,
total felt like 5.
no. It was all Super Bowls for the most part. They allowed it like between 13 to 15 minutes. So it was like a 13 something minute performance.
I don't know, but I just felt like that shit was not. People were like, "Yes, oh my god," but I don't think it was like all that. They were the artists are great, but I don't feel like they were giving like they weren't put to their best potential. And then Eminem taking the knee, everyone's like upset about that. Who cares? Let him take a knee. What are y'all gonna do? Y'all can't find him. He's not a football player.
Yeah. So, but Yeah, I
It would
mean,
have been
some
fun if
people.
they all took a knee.
That would have been a statement. That would
That
have
would
been
have been a
something. That
statement.
would have definitely at least made up for us wanting more. But you know what we do want more of? We finally want to bring out our special guest. This is a lot of our guests are always into working, but I'm excited that this is finally happening. I um I actually started following this guy online. See, social media is not that, social media could be bad, but social media could also be of great tools because I found this guy. We are about to welcome, he is a gay man's self love coach. He's a writer, he's a healer, and he's ready to join the Inner Circle podcast. Let's welcome Sacred Steve. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show.
What's
See?
up?
How are you?
You know what's crazy? You
What?
look like, now that I was thinking about it, you look like a young, fresh Marc Anthony.
I knew
No,
you was gonna say
I
Mark Anthony.
swear I was gonna tell you, Melanie. Everybody be saying that to me.
Yeah,
For
you get it?
I get
It's
that
Mark
all the
Anthony.
time. Oddly, I don't see it. I love him, and I think he's amazing, and he's a handsome man. But I'm like, I don't think we look alike, though. But yo, people see it, and I'm like, all right, yo, see what you see. I'm not gonna control your eyes.
That's a great compliment.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. I love Mark Anthony. But Steve, for the people who don't know you, let's get to know you. You are a gay men's self-love coach. You are a healer. You're a writer. When did this all start for you? Let's go with life coach. When did you get into life coaching? How did this come about for you?
Great question. Thank you for asking. So back in 2017, I started doing a lot of work on myself personally. Like I just dive deep into personal development because I was very, very depressed, very, very fucking sad, filled with self-hate, totally just have negative self-image, saw life in the most pessimistic way, very negative, very unhappy, and just I felt like I was existing but not really living. I was alive but I wasn't filled with life, man. And I thought that I got to do something to change this. So I started changing my lifestyle, and started investing in spending more time with what's going on with me and how to heal my emotions and see what the fuck is up to start feeling better. That it led to me meeting my life coach in 2018. I've been working with her since then. And as we have progressed on my journey, she would always tell me, Steve, I see you got what it takes to be a life coach yourself. You're a natural healer. You should think about doing that. I was like, what? I thought about doing that in my early 20s. But I never really entertained it much more than a thought. But maybe if something happens, I will do it. Something did happen, a fucking pandemic, and no one had nowhere to go. So I took that opportunity to approach opening a life coaching business. I completely transformed my social media from just being, basic meme sharing to actual content of substance that could really help people. I was like, well, everything that I've learned on my journey, working on my own and then working with my life coach, how can I turn that into content to help people? And then when I did that, establish myself as an expert, right? Or just someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about, I decided to offer coaching as a service.
That's awesome. I think I love how I've heard so many people making, like, what is it? Making lemons out of, or lemonade out of lemons,
Yeah.
whatever. You know the expression, where they take advantage of the fact of the pandemic. I've had a friend create a whole business out of it from the ground up, and like hearing people do that with the time that they have, what is great, and it's very inspiring.
Yeah, it's funny, Steve, that we you was asking us, how many episodes we're going into our 100 episodes soon. We started during the pandemic too. Like the podcast started during the pandemic. It's something, as like it's a passion we always have. It's something we always think about. But how do we start it? What are people going to say? Fears, etc. So, but it started also in the pandemic. What do you think? was about the pandemic that had so many people just going for things? Like you started, you like, let me go for mine, myself included. What do you think happened with the pandemic that finally made people a little less fearless to start going for their goals and aspirations?
Lovely question. Thank you for asking. Um, I feel like it's a number of things. Okay, well, I'm a spiritual based life coach, so I also like to look at things from like a spiritual lens. And from what I believe, there is a total shift and awakening within the human collective that is waking up to their true sovereignty. And when a whole fucking collective consciousness is waking up to their sovereignty, also while being at home and realizing that their jobs do nothing but exploit them and take away from their true passions and what they feel might be their purpose, if they can even have the time to awaken to their purpose. You mix that all together, plus more time on your hands than usual, and then a pandemic hitting you out of nowhere, making you realize you don't know what the fuck is going to happen tomorrow. I could go anytime. It inspires people to want to take that step to go for what they want to do.
Facts.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
is true.
So why necessary? Someone that may be following you online, that may go online to check you out and check out your profile. Gay men's life coach. Why necessarily? Let's say it's a woman or a straight guy. Why gay men's coach? And are you open to other than that, than just gay men? But why specifically gay men's life coach?
Right. So when I first started coaching, I was just marketing to everybody,
Mm.
And there's a saying, when you try to help everybody, you help nobody. You don't help When you try to help everyone, you help no one. And I realized that I'd be more effective if I have a target audience, and I can be more I can gear my content for my page to have more of a direct message that will have a better following and more engagement, and people really committed to, like, what I'm presenting. So I asked myself, because at first I was starting with men and women, so I asked myself, well, what should I really gear my program to? And I looked at my current clientele, and I saw that 90% was gay men. And I looked at my followers, and I see like more than 90% of my followers are gay men. And being a gay man myself, growing up, I would have loved nothing more than to have a gay man tell me and help me go through the shit that I go through, because they speak my language and they've been in my shoes. And they know it like how I know it. And it's like, you want to help the world. That's absolutely amazing. Kudos to you. But it's like, you want to clean the world, clean your house first before you do that. So it's like, let's start at home. Let's start with my community, because the goal is to help the community to then be inspiration for everybody else. Help the community show that, hey, gay people are here because we have this unique perspective that can really help the rest of the world shape their retransform their view of what it means to be even human. you know and if I could be uh, uh, an inspirational leader for the gay community to uplift them and show them how banging that they are and how special that they are, I couldn't ask for anything more.
I love that, because I
I
do
love that.
feel, besides, like, we need more people like you out there, especially for, like, in the gay community. Because why do you think, maybe you do think different, you don't think that, but why do you think for in the gay community we lack that, maybe older figure, that someone who, like, you know what, I'm gonna take you down the wrong path? Like, why do you think we lack that within our own people in the gay community?
I believe we lack that is because when so many gay men mature, they are just so motherfucking happy to finally live in their truth that it's like, let me go fulfill my dreams and do what I've always wanted to do instead of being held back and judged and controlled my whole life. That we forget that there's a younger generation who could probably use us, because you get caught up in being a mentor for your own inner self, inner child that didn't get what they got, so imagine going through that, many gay men, going through that kind of journey for like decades. It's like, it's hard for people to show up for others when they're just trying to show up for themselves, because we live in a world where I don't care what you have in between your legs or what you identify yourself as or who you love, wounded masculinity has hurt us.
Yeah.
In what way, and do you feel with gays as just men in general, like you just said, do you feel the straight applying for straight, including the straight men? Do you think we all fall under that ruined masculinity, gay men and straight men alike? And why
Yeah.
do you think that? Why do you
Yo,
think that fits us?
he, she, they is all a victim of wounded masculine, because wounded masculine has dominated and controlled the planet for thousands of fucking years. So no matter who you are, you fall underneath that abuse.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. So listen, what are some of the tools you will give like to a young gay man? Someone young comes up to you, they're going through the changes, they're coming out, they're trying to let people know, like what's some advice that you could give, or what's an advice that you would give to a younger man coming out, finding himself, etc.
Your feelings are not wrong. That's the first thing I would tell you. No matter what you're feeling, you ain't wrong for what you're feeling. Honor your feelings, whatever they may be. Honor your feelings and really start to live unapologetically. There is nothing wrong with how you feel or who you are. People, you could be like the most successful, handsome, fucking rich, do-gooder, Nobel Prize motherfucking winner, and there's still gonna somebody who's gonna hate you. There's still gonna somebody who's gonna have a private profile commenting on your post saying you look stupid. So it's like, it doesn't matter what they say. It does not matter what they say. You have to live for you. You have to be honest and authentic. And I know that's scary, but the more that you break away from what they try to make you to be, you inspire others to be themselves as well.
Like Little Kim says, no matter what people say,
Oh,
we got it going
that
on.
album, yo, I love that album.
The album is great.
That is a good album.
Hell yeah! I tried to get it signed when she was at like some record store in BK, but like it didn't work out. But that was my album, yo.
All right, let's get into some fun game. Here at the Inner Circle podcast team, we like to play some games with our guests, and this one we created is just right up your alley. You should do good. We're going to present you with some scenarios, some things we all go through as human beings. First of all, the game is called Sacred Thoughts.
Sacred Thoughts.
And we're going to present you some scenarios, and basically you are going to, what you would say to the person, like a mentor, the advice, all right? So, you ready?
Okay.
Yeah? All right. Let's start with the first one. You're in a situationship and not getting the attention and time you want from this situationship you're in.
Okay. So I have to be a little bit clear. Am I giving advice?
You're giving the advice. Yeah. What would you say? What would Sacred Steve say? Your sacred thoughts to either yourself or a mentoree.
Right. They're not getting what they're looking for in the relationship, right?
Yes, you're in a situationship and not getting the attention and time you want.
Okay. Um, the first thing is to find clarity within yourself on what exactly it is that you want. That's the first thing I would say. Be clear on what you need, what you want, and what you truly desire. Then go over your situationship and see where it may be showing up that you haven't realized, and then see where you can be confident and sure that it's not showing up. And then you just you take notice in that. And then from there, after you have done that like realization, that like, self-awareness, you can then communicate to whomever is in the situation with you what you are experiencing and feeling and require and need. I highly suggest that we never point the finger and say, you ain't doing this, you ain't. It's just like,
Oh boy.
I'm feeling this. I require to feel this, and I am not feeling this in this situationship with you.
Mm.
Always
Where were
bring that to
you? Where
yourself.
were you last month?
I love this. I'm taking a workshop about love languages, how we respond, family, relationships, all that. Dude, it's something you said exactly what I just learned this past Monday. I love that.
Bueno.
I
You sound like
love
my
that.
therapist.
I love that. All right, next. You trying to break generational, this is family oriented. You're trying to break generational curses, but family look at you different. So you move, you're trying to be different. You're trying to break away from the norm of what you and your siblings and your parents were used to growing up, but your family's looking at you different.
Mm.
Secret thoughts, Steve.
um, I guess it would be about, ask yourself, how much does their opinion matter to you? You can ask yourself that. And how much do you need their opinion to look a certain way about you in your life? Just, it's everything that you go through. Have the conversation with yourself first. It's always an inside job. You always go within first before you start going anywhere else. Be like, check with yourself first. What's up? What's going on? Am I really bothered by what my family thinks and says? Do I need them to love what I do? Do I need them to accept what I do? Do I need them to like what I do? Why do I need this? Why do I don't need this? You always start there. Start with yourself first, and then you go to those people and like, listen, I'm seeing that how I'm choosing to live my life is affecting you. Now, I love you and I respect you, but it's not my responsibility to make sure that you're happy with what I do. What you think about me is your responsibility. How you feel about me is your responsibility. It doesn't matter what I do. My responsibility is what I think about you and what I feel about you. It doesn't matter what you do. It's always about what it's their responsibility. It's your responsibility. It's like, you making me feel this way. Nah, you're making yourself feel that way by how you determine or make what I do mean to you. So I would probably just present it to them. I see that you need me to be a certain way in order for you to be happy. You're making your happiness determined by my actions. You also in my business. Your business is your business. It's like they're also being disempowered by letting their happiness be affected by someone else's actions. That's also a disempowering move. You're placing all of your emotional health based on what they do. They got control of you then. I would basically like show it to them like, listen, you might not approve of it, but it's like, I don't need you to. I would love if you did, because I love and care about you. But at the end of the day, like, I'm the one breathing the air in my lungs. I'm the one wiping my ass. So until you do that, you really have no say.
Mm.
And the thing is, you'll never. You'll never really be breathing the air in the air in my lungs. You'll never be in my body, living my body. So why do you need to be telling me what step to take when you ain't even in my feet? You ain't even in my shoes. You got your own life to live. Like
Tell your mama.
you trying to live two lives? Like that must be hard for you. You must be tired.
For real. All right. Next and last
Read.
scenario. And the last one. At work, you don't feel challenged and you dread, you wake up every morning, you dread going to work because you feel unfulfilled and you just don't feel challenged at your job. Sacred thoughts on that.
What is
Mm.
what is making you stay there? Why are you still there if it's not what you want? If it's not giving you what you want, why are you still there? What's holding you back from doing something different? What's holding you back from leaving? What's holding you back from saying I'm not coming back, from quitting? Like what's holding you back from just expressing your unhappiness at work? Because maybe you actually do want to stay there, but you just want different responsibility or you want it to change. What is keeping you from expressing yourself and making any moves that you may quietly say to yourself that you want to do? It's always you always go within.
All right.
You keep coming back to that. That's the best place to go. You go within with all your shit, no matter what the situation is. You go within because your own internal guidance got you.
What would you
I
say?
wanna.
Because one of our, sorry, Melody, real quick, because I did think this, but one of our circle friends said it. What's keeping you there? Bills. What would you say to that? If someone, one of your people you're coaching says, well, I'm there because I need a roof over my head. You said
Um,
everything you said right now, but they throw that at you.
Bills. Is this the only job you can get to pay those bills? Is this your only option? Hands down, end all be all only option.
Gotcha.
Is it?
Melody?
I was gonna say that I can attest to this question because during the pandemic, like the beginning, I was like, yes, I can work from home. And then months passed and I was just like feeling so, I felt like I wasn't essential. I felt like my job could be written off and like nobody would care because I wasn't really making a difference in the world. And especially when all these medical essential workers were getting all this praise and stuff, I felt bad for myself. But then I like realized like fuck that. This would be the best time to transition into a different career because I didn't feel challenged where I was in the industry that I was. And I also felt like I had like an itch where I needed to like do something else. So that's one thing that I did do was a
You did,
career
yeah.
move. And I don't regret it to this day. If anything, I'm happier making more money, but it is a sacrifice. You have to like be patient. And also, when it comes to bills, you just have to be financially responsible. Just cut back and stuff and just save until you can be out. But the right opportunity always comes at the right time.
Absolutely. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Steve, now that was fun, Gabe. Thank you for that. Now, moving on, we're talking a lot about within ourselves, relationships within ourselves, and dealing with just a lot of things within ourselves. Let's talk that relationship we have with ourselves, because sometimes, let's be real, y'all. Like sometimes the relationship within ourselves is the hardest relationship we have.
Hmm.
Fuck the girlfriend, the brothers, the mother, the sisters, the cousins, and sometimes that relationship is the hardest is with us. Why do you think that is, Steve? Let's dive into that and why sometimes the hardest relationship is within ourselves.
Because of what we experience with other relationships. What we experience with other relationships then goes into our subconscious about how we think we should be. And if we're not what we think we should be, we then beat the shit out of ourselves. The inner critic will go off. You know, you having an experience with your family growing up, and they might not even judge you. They might judge somebody else just on TV. Inside, you're going, well, I can't do that because if I do that, I'm just going to get screamed at like my father just screamed at the TV. And then you start looking at yourself as not good enough or need to do more or this and this and that, you know, and then you you become like your own freaking like jail warden. You turn yourself into your own punching bag, and it's because since you know no one's else around and you're not doing it to somebody else, it's okay. You're not really being mean if you're only being mean to yourself, but you're still being mean to a person, right? You because you are a person. And I think what makes it hard to have a difficult relationship ourselves is because we feel that the stuff that we wouldn't say to other people, we think it's okay to say to ourselves. When it's like, no, 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 no. You matter. And how you treat yourself is also like what you will probably end up treating somebody else once you lose the fear of what it might look like to say this. You know? So it's just like your relationship with yourself is the most important one because that is the one you are guaranteed to be in till the day you die. Even if you marry a man and you're together for 40 years, 40 number 41 year comes, he can up and leave. He ain't guaranteed. You are guaranteed to wake up with you every day. That's the most important relationship. And what makes it hard is that we are not taught at all how to develop a healthy relationship with ourselves, let alone other people. We just get stuck. We get put in schools where they make you study English, science, social studies, gym, economics, this and this and that. Make sure you take your regents, make sure you take your SATs, then get a job. But it's like, yo, I didn't learn shit about how to deal about how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And from grade K to 12, I didn't learn shit about how to communicate with people. I didn't learn shit about what I do when I'm feeling a certain way or why I may be even feeling a certain way. We're just like not even given the tools at all. So how could our relationships go to shit?
And why do you think we don't have that more in school? I mean, I could get deep into it, but I want to pick your brain. Why do you think we don't get taught that? Why don't we have that in schools?
It's cultural.
It is cultural. I also it's I feel that we have we just have kind of like a very closed-minded view of what we think is like right and wrong and healthy living. And honestly, yo, they just want you to be a motherfucking producer. They want you to produce for a system that keeps certain people in a position that is above you. And if you are enlightened and waking up to your true potential, you then can be controlled. You then can be exploited. And then you can't be held the motherfuck down. So why am I going to teach my slave how to speak his own voice, how to garden, how to manage his money, how to effectively communicate with other people, how to learn how to treat himself with herbs instead of being dependent on medicine that keeps me rich? They ain't gonna teach
Yep.
you that.
Yep. Preach, 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 preach.
They're gonna
Yo,
keep
I got
you.
chills. You took me to church because exactly.
They're gonna keep
Preach,
you.
Kanye.
Oh my god!
Not Kanye. Not him.
Listen, he's not bad. He's been
He's not bad.
he's been screwed over, bro. He's been MK Ultra. I'm sorry. He's just been screwed the fuck over. But anyway, it's just they're not going to teach you what's going to help you. They're going to teach you what's going to help them.
So how now moving on? How could we? What are some tools that you will advise of how we could teach ourselves and help ourselves in our relationship with ourselves? Because listen, we are never going, and I'm a big believer in this. As I'm getting older, as I'm thinking, we are not going to have my personal opinion. You will never have a successful relationship if you don't work within yourself and make yourself better with certain things. So you see a lot of people always trying to get into relationships and have a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, for the looks of it or for the social media, but it's not going to work out if you're not good within. So, Steve, how are some of what tools? Not all of them, because we can be here all night. But what are some tools that you will get people out there to work within themselves and have that better relationship?
Banging ass question. Yo, like literally, learn to like understand yourself. Just start learning to understand yourself. Learn who you are. And a great way to do that is to just express what you think and feel. Either just like write journal, or make a voice note talking about how you felt, or go and sit on the couch and start talking to the fucking sky. Go outside on a walk. Like, get in
I
touch.
talk in the shower.
Talk in your shower, whatever it is.
I
Like,
practice arguments in the shower.
exactly, like,
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I see
people do
it.
that. People do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get to know yourself. Just get to know yourself. Start like get to know yourself. Start like you start writing. Start like whatever it is. Start like becoming self-aware of like, I notice I start to think this when somebody says this. Or I notice I start to think this when certain things don't go my way. I usually have this kind of reaction. Start self-discovery. Why do I feel this fucking way? Why do I always have this reaction? Why does she push my buttons? Why can I not hear this particular word thrown at me? Why does it make me feel this way? Start like self diving in, like seeing who the fuck you are. Start there, and the tools you can use are definitely journaling, definitely talking in the shower, or just like spitting, allotting time to just express yourself however you feel comfortable expressing yourself. You ain't crazy talking to yourself. You're not crazy to talk to yourself. Start doing it, people.
It's like, bro, I thought lately, I used to think that growing up, oh, people who talk to themselves are crazy. I find it, first of all, I talk to my dog. But I talk to my dog, and I feel like my dog understands me more than some people are in these streets. But I talk to my dog, and yeah, I noticed that I talk to myself too. And like, there's nothing, and the more it's happening, is like I feel more comfortable with it. I don't feel like crazy. It's like sometimes I give myself. We talk to ourselves within our heads. So what's wrong with saying that out loud with our words? Sometimes when you hear it, when you speak it out loud, it's like versus just thinking it and it's just marinating. We already talk to ourselves within our heads. So sometimes I find that it's helps saying it out loud, because when you hear things out loud, it's like it's more like than just thinking about it and marinating, ruminating within yourself. Let it out. Speak it.
That's one issue I used to I probably still have that. If I'm having a conversation with someone where I'm voicing my opinions or my feelings about something, and this would happen with my ex all the time, he would finish my sentence before I can express what I'm feeling. Like, he would know what I was about to say. And that would make me feel bad, because it's like, I want to get it out. So you're basically beating me to the punch. So I don't know. That's something that, like, I realize I am a verbal person. I need to say it out loud.
Oh, absolutely. That's actually my form of meditation. I'll sit on the couch in the morning, and I just start speaking to like my angels, my spirit guides, to God, universe, whatever you want to call it. I just start speaking what's stressing me, what I'm worried about. I just like start talking as if somebody's in the room. Well, because I believe there is a presence with me and they are listening. So I just start speaking, and I let it out, and it's kind of just like purging, right? And I just speak it, and then from there I get into this meditative state where I actually just kind of close my eyes and I integrate what I just went through, but I gotta speak it first. I gotta just like say it first, because that's how I'm designed. That's another thing. What works for you, do it. Just don't automatically do what someone tells you to do. Like find what works for you. Find the right coach for you. Find the right psychiatrist, the right therapist, the right counselor, whatever. Find the right outlet. Sometimes you might not even need that. You might just need to read a little bit.
The right partner.
Whatever, the right partner. Find what works for you. Not everything works for everybody, so find what works for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it all starts with also self-love. And I feel like self-love is a very important thing. The last few years, I'm such a big advocate and more and more promoter of self-love. Um, how important do you think, and how, what would you tell people how the significance of self-love, the different self-love will do for people if they started applying that more? Could you like explain to people or your opinion of why self-love is so important?
Well, the thing is, I think we're still trying to, we as a species is still learning what love truly is. You know, we get told what we think it is. You know, we're programmed and conditioned to say this is what love is, but like I feel like we're still learning what that is, and I'm still learning what self love is and how to love myself truly. But from what I from what I believe and from where I'm at now, self love is radically accepting yourself as you are, no matter what it looks like. Like, you're, no matter what it looks like, your inner critic might want to say, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't be this way. Self love is saying, I accept that this is just where you at right now and what's coming out of you right now and how you're showing up right now. And I am not going to ask you to change. I'm just going to let you motherfucking be, because unconditional love is not control, is the allowance to just be what you are. Because conditional love is I'm going to love you on a condition. Unconditional love, I don't care how you are. I'm just going to love you. To extend that to yourself, that's something I'm still learning, and I will learn until I die. You know, you know,
Wow.
and but the more you learn that and apply it to yourself, shit transforms. You feel better. Your health transforms. Your relationship transforms. The experience in your life transforms. New opportunities, different relationships. Your fucking skin gets tighter. You end up looking like your health goes skyrockets. You know, it all starts changing when you learn to accept yourself and not beat yourself up for just like what's happening with you and how you are. Like, loving yourself is accepting yourself and being there for yourself and not saying you should be different. I see that this is how you are. What do you need right now? What do I need right now in order for me to show up how I feel would be the most loving for myself and others? And I see right now I'm not doing that. I'm not going to beat myself up for being a bitch right now, but I'm being a bitch for a reason. What am I not getting? What's lacking in my experience right now that has me being a bitch? I don't want to be a bitch, but I am just one, and I'm just going to accept myself for this moment right now. So what do I need to be how I truly want to be? So instead of being like, yo, I'm a fucking bitch and there's something wrong with me, and oh my god, I fucking like I'm just terrible, I'm gonna be alone forever, and nah, I'm going through this for a reason, and I'm feeling this way for a reason, and I'm gonna acknowledge that I feel this way, and what do I need to get me to the place of where I really want. Self love is just not trying to change you, but trying to accept you and understand you and help yourself be your better self.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that. And like you said, not change you, but you understand. And you said something like in this moment as well, when you said, "Oh, I'm being a bit in this moment," because you are, I don't want people to think also, well, Steve said to accept myself, so I'm just gonna continue being an alcoholic. No, that's not what he means. It's like, yeah, own it, accept it in that moment. Don't beat yourself up. But like you said, that self-realization, everything else will fall and like change, etc. Um, and it goes into personal development. It ties into with personal development. Like personal development, we see. I think what's wrong with society, and I'm learning that now, and we all in the same age group. We're millennials. I'm not gonna say well, in our 30s.
Yeah, we're millennials.
We're in our 30s. We're millennials. Oh, well, I'm proud to be a millennial, but I didn't want to like throw out everyone else's age group. But we're in our 30s. We're still looking good, kicking the best generation out right now. But we're in our 30s, and we've noticed, speaking for myself, as you're getting older, as I was creeping my 30s, oh, I'm not here yet. I'm not here yet. And we beat ourselves up about where we at in life. Um, Without knowing that growth and personal development will always it's a forever thing till we're no longer on this planet here. So, what are some of the things that you could jump in and talk about that personal development? Because a lot of people think, oh, you should be developed and have everything by 30 or whatever, without realizing that personal development is more than just what society has told us. It's way more than that, and it lasts our whole lifetime. So, if you could jump in and elaborate on that and personal development.
No, absolutely. We are definitely conditioned and programmed to have a certain life, have our lives look a certain way by a certain time. And if it doesn't look a certain way by a certain time, you are then fucking up, and it's just not true. They try to give you a rule book on how to live and who to be when there's actually no rule book. It's just about being your motherfucking self. There's no law on what you're supposed to do with your life and how you're supposed to live. There's no like set in stone way, you know? And we're made to believe that if we don't follow a societal norm, then we're failing, and it's just not the case. You can't fail as something that is also just is fake. Standards are made up by somebody who has an opinion that thinks that it should be a certain way. Anybody can make a fucking standard. So it's like you only fail if you buy into it and think that you have to live up to it. But if you say there is no standard for me to live up to, you can't fail. You just live. You just keep going. And yes, with personal development, if you're alive, there's a lesson to be learned. If you're alive, there's a lesson to be learned. There is always room for growth. Don't think of it as an end destination. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride.
My
Because
therapist says we're always a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. There's it's just like it's like if you wanna get a six pack, you think that when you get the six pack, that's it. I got my six pack. I'm gonna have it forever. No, bitch, you're gonna have to keep on dieting and keep on doing your crunches.
Yep,
You
yep.
don't get the six pack. So it's the same thing with your emotions and your personal development. You get to a place, you heal, you expand, and then you have another breakthrough, and then you heal, and then you expand, then you have another breakthrough, and then it just keeps on going. And the thing is, when we have the mentality that I'm only going to be happy until I get into a certain spot, your happiness will always be over there.
Mm.
It will always be over there when you think that that you're only going to be happy when it looks a certain way and when certain things are in order. You will always have your happiness on the other side of the fucking room. How can you see happiness as here and now while also remaining in the space of I'm complete and happy, but know that I can continue to experience more? I don't need to, but I know that I can always heal more and I can always better myself, but I'm good enough now too. I'm worthy enough now too as I continue to expand. I don't. There's no end destination goal. There is just here and now, and how can I be banging now while also working to maintain and expand. That's what it is.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. And I'm on my spiritual journey right now. I feel a lot of people start going. Melanie herself as well. It's a lot of people start taking a spiritual journey when we, I guess, start becoming aware. The blinds are lifting a little bit. We're becoming more aware. We're becoming more in tune with ourselves. And we start getting the word spiritual. Now, we've had this conversation kind of similar before, when we had somewhere similar before, the difference between spirituality and religion. I think a lot of people confuse the two. Once again, for anyone who maybe didn't catch that episode, or maybe it's something that needs to be said a lot, could you let the people know the difference between someone who is spiritual and religious, and how the spiritual, what you do with spirituality, how that journey does help, better our lives overall and ties into everything else?
Okay, thank you. First of all, what I would like to say is no matter what you believe in, everyone is allowed and has the free will to believe in what they believe in. No one is wrong to believe in what they believe in. If you're religious, you're religious, and that is fine. If you're spiritual, and that is fine. If you're atheist, you're atheist, and that is fine. Everyone there's listen, everyone's allowed to believe what they believe. And that's the first thing I want to say. What I feel the difference between religion and spirituality is because I used to attend church. In religion, I see it as a means to control. That's it.
Mm.
I just see it as a means to control.
Yep.
With spirituality, I see it as your how, you being in your sovereignty, you being just who you are. Spirituality to me is the the freedom you seek in religion actually experienced. The safety and the love that you seek in religion actually experienced, because I feel religion is very fear based.
Mm.
You don't do this or else you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
burn. If you
Mm.
do it this way, you have to do a bunch of Hail Marys. Like it's a lot of or else, which is like that sounds a little bit that I don't know. That doesn't sound like love. That sounds like control. That
Yeah.
sounds like you want me to be you want me to be a certain way in order to then receive your love.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. Ouch. So why the fuck am I born with my own thought, mind, feelings, and like why do I have my own free will if using my free will gets me to hell? It's like it makes no sense. That makes no sense. Why am I given all this? It's just like, oh, so it sounds like what to me then? It's like it sounds like it's a test to prove your devotion or love to God. To me, that's making God a man, as if God needs you to prove something to him. But from my opinion, God is all that is, and doesn't need something that it knows it already got, which is just it's ready within you, and it's just like there's no separation. Like I feel it's religion is just completely fabricated and man-made. It's like a book of metaphors that's mixed with a little bit of lies and a
Mm.
little bit of truth,
Mm.
because that's the best way to manipulate people
Listen,
into being, you know,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
into being subservient. But again,
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I was just gonna make a quick comment. Like, I read the Bible. Yes, some people will be like, "Well, why do you read the Bible?" Because, like you said, I know. Like, I'm not saying I'm the smartest person, but it's like you kind of know the like, you know what to decipher and take out of the Bible that applies to being a good person, etc. Versus then the whole and then the plague came and this happened and then all the kids. I know how to separate. You know what I'm talking about. And all the kids, the firstborns were taken, blah blah blah, and this and that. You know how to separate. So I like that you brought that up. But Steve, it's. I mean, look at the time. The time where we're having fun, the time just goes by. But I want the people also to know, Steve, how they could support you, where they could find you, all that good stuff. This is your time, as I like to call it and joke around, to sell yourself like a prostitute in church. Speaking of church, so how could the people support you, find you, all that good stuff?
yes, Sacred Steve underscore is my handle for Instagram and TikTok. You can find me at stevematos.com as well. And yeah, I'm not too much on YouTube, but yeah, TikTok and IG, Sacred Steve underscore and stevematos.com. Those are the best places where you can find me. And yeah, just like Yo, thank y'all for having me. This was beautiful.
Thank you for coming. And also, you have a challenge. You want to mention the challenge you have going on as well?
Yes, thank you very much. Me and a group of coaches will be doing a 7-day challenge where we'll be working with a group of gay men for 7 days straight. It's going to be group coaching plus one-on-one coaching, and it starts February 20th. And you receive classes, group calls, one-on-one calls, materials, stuff like that, community support, all for $29. Okay, so it's like excellent content, excellent value for a very affordable price. It's 7 days, starts February 20th. The link in my bio on IG and TikTok can lead you to where to sign up.
Good.
Don't I wish I was a gay man?
All right, but we're gonna end it in gratitude now. That's, you guys know, this is the part of the show where we end it in gratitude. So, Melanie, what's your ended in gratitude?
I want to say I'm grateful for healing. And I have an affirmation. Healing is a process and I make sure I dedicate time to it when I'm going through a stressful situation. I feel like healing has been something I've been gravitating towards, and I look forward to it in the future.
Awesome. Steve, you're a special guest. Do you have something you're grateful for, thankful for?
I'm grateful for just all the full amazing experiences that I've been experiencing since, like, thank you pandemic, because it actually changed my life for the better, and I'm just so grateful for my family and my friends and the support that I have and the love that's within me and around me, and being here with you two beautiful fucking souls is just like, I'm grateful to know that there's people like you do making shows like this, and to be here, and just to know that everything that I wished that I could have, or that I thought I lost, I never lost, and I already got what I'm looking for already within me.
I love that. Oh, I love that. That was one of my best friends. I love that. Mine is, and I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, and simple. But mine is my best friend. I'm gonna end it in gratitude for
Oh,
my best
God.
friend Melanie. It's her birthday tomorrow, and I am so thankful for her. She is like one of the very few people that I feel like have truly had my back.
Keep going.
I have truly had my back, has been there for me through some of my darkest times, like knows some things about me that no one else knows. And it's like, to be able to be blessed, even if it's not many people you have in life, but to at least know you have, even, I'm not saying she's the only one, but even if she was the only one on earth, I'm grateful for that at least I had that one person. So my gratitude, I'm thankful for you, bestie, and
Here's
happy
a rose.
birthday. Happy birthday to
Thank
Melanie.
you.
Tomorrow's her birthday. So we thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you guys for supporting us. You guys know where to catch us on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, streaming tomorrow, the very next day. And subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, our Instagram, the Inner Circle Podcast. We love you guys. We will see you guys next week, same place and time. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you,
Best
guys.
girlfriend.
Thank you, Inner Circle Podcast. Bye.
Bye.